Welcome to the morning after 2020 season preview here as we're going to do a recap of the draft that just occurred last night here with my co-host today, which is why this is the morning after show that's being done in the afternoon. Someone had to use it for their schoolwork, selfishly. Jerk. Jerk, jerk, jerk. Anyway, we'll get right to the picks. And so we're going to start with Chad and Griff. So I think there's no way to better do that than this. That's pretty much the story of their draft. Thanks to the Strokes for their catchy new song, Bad Decisions, which is the theme song of Griff and Chad's draft. Thought I could rip on you both since you like to rip on each other, so it'd be funny. Anyway, we'll go into Chad first. Team Little Big Men. Last year finished 9-4. Kirk Cousins, Cam Newton. Kind of the combo thing. Hopefully he can get the one that's on the better matchup. Christian McCaffrey, Cam Akers, Leonard Fournette, Sony Michel should be okay running backs. Questionable with Akers. See how he pans out. If he pans out well, be good. Or Fournette. Juju, Thielen, Diggs, and CeeDee Lamb. Boomer bust guy there for him is Juju. Risky to take him over Tyreek Hill, Galladay, Mike Evans. If it pans out, it'd be good. If not, it could bite him on the butt. Next up is Griff, who went to the playoffs last year and lost. Last year finished 7-6. Great quarterbacks. Patrick Mahomes, Derek Carr is a backup. Saquon Barkley, Mark Ingram, J.K. Dobbins, and David Montgomery. Montgomery is a sleeper pick. There could be a solid flex for him when he gets healthy. Receivers, Galladay, Devontae Parker, Christian Kirk, Mike Williams. Boomer bust for him will be the Ravens running backs. If they play well and they dominate touches, could be really good. Otherwise, this is the second straight year that a team has drafted Patrick Mahomes at number 2. We'll see. Hopefully, he has better luck than Tim last year, who finished 3-10, who drafted Mahomes at the end of the second round with 2.11. So we'll see for him there. And going into this is one of the first years I can say that I've looked at all the rosters, and usually there's one or two teams that you can see that their team is pretty solid throughout. There's not a whole lot of holes. Everyone I can see has at least one hole on their team going into the season. Could be answered really quickly. Sometimes we'll see though. Could be more prolonged time to get those questions answered. Next up, Bernie's Bruisers. Last year finished 6-7 and missed the playoffs. Drew Brees and Baker Mayfield, solid at quarterback. Chris Carson, Zeke, Devin Singletary, and Chase Edmonds at running back. Receivers are Tyreek Hill, Terry McLaurin, Zach Ertz, and Higbee. A little bit depth could be a concern, especially a receiver for him. Boomer bust on Singletary. Some things are not very high on him at all. Someone who had drafted Zach Moss. I'm obviously one of those people who doesn't think much of Devin Singletary, but if he plays well, gets a few touches, gets a few touchdowns, could be really solid. But boomer bust there on Singletary at the flex. Next up, bites his Badgers last year. Whoops, I should say 2019 record for both of them. Finished 3-9-1. Carson Wentz at quarterback. Could be questionable if the offense line issues and no receivers for him to throw to at the time. Running backs I like. Derrick Henry, Austin Eckler, Phillip Lindsay, who's got some upside. Alexander Madison has upside. Receivers, we got Mike Evans, Mark Andrews, Keenan Allen, and Marquise Brown. Questions there to maybe define his season. Ravens receivers, Mark Andrews, Marquise Brown. They should throw more, but they kind of got lucky with touchdowns last year, so we'll see how they do there. That'll probably, as bites his season, will hinge on that. The Minotaurs last year finished 6-7. Lamar Jackson, Jimmy Garoppolo at quarterback. Surprise pick there with Lamar at pick number 5 overall, 1.5. Kenyon Drake, Jonathan Taylor, Ronald Jones at running back. Receiver, Kittle, T.Y. Hilton, Jarvis Landry, Slayton, and Crowder. Boomer bust on him. So solid running receivers. T.Y., if he's healthy, should be solid as a 2. Questions there at running back. Taylor, will he take over the load? If so, that should be really good number 2. But the big question for him is Kenyon Drake. What's up with the injury? Coach says nothing, but it's still considering week 1. And then, was it a fluke last year at the end of the year or not? If it is not a fluke, a really solid running back 1 in the second round. Chris's Cardinals last year squeaked into the playoffs, or actually backed into the playoffs at 6-7, made the Super Bowl, lost a heartbreaker. Darn you, Mike Boone. Darn you, Vikings defense or coach, for not giving them the ball at all against the Packers' awful run defense. Anyway, Josh Allen and Mr. Joe Burrow at quarterback, some upside. Allen's not pretty to watch, but he usually gets the job done thanks to that floor of running. We have Travis Kelce, Calvin Ridley, DK Metcalf, Brandon Cooks, Deontay Johnson not listed. I really like my receivers. I thought it would be one of the better receiving cores in the league. There's one that's better, which you'll see in a little bit, quite a bit better. That's no knock on my guys because I like them a lot, but I do like my receivers a lot. My boomer bust is Calvin Ridley, if he's as good as I hope he is, and some experts say, quote-unquote experts. My receiving core should be excellent, with Ridley as a bona fide one there as well with Travis Kelce. Next up, we have the Horndogs. Last year finished 6 and 7. Kyler Murray, Ben Roethlisberger, really good quarterbacks. Roethlisberger 2 years ago was fantastic, so he has that status set. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, a lot of upside there. Melvin Gordon, Tevin Coleman, Coleman, you never know. I mean, Shanahan gives the ball to whoever. Godwin, Allen Robinson, AJ Green, Deebo Samuel. 2 boomer busts, actually. I mean, if CEH and the Chiefs running backs do as much as they could be, that could be great. That could be top 3 running back, top 3 player in the league. Other question is AJ Green and Deebo Samuel, 2 guys who are currently injured or have injury histories. If they play to their potential, could be good. Then we've got Mr. In Rodgers We Trust. Last year finished 10 and 3, the Super Bowl champs, the second straight year. The defending champions picked at 8. Dak Prescott and Jared Goff, good quarterbacks. Kamara, Gurley, Jordan Howard, and Latavius Murray, good running backs. Like that he's got the Saints backfield locked up there with Latavius. Receivers, Julio, Cooper Kupp, Michael Gallup, and Paris Campbell. A little thin at receiving depth. You know what you're getting out of Julio. Kupp should be good, and Gallup's there. The boomer bust on him will be Todd Gurley. Good offense. He seemed to struggle last year. Kind of a fluke or not, we'll see. Dirk Cutter's not much for running the ball all the time. So that'll be his season might hinge on that. And Jordan Howard is steady Eddie, not very appealing. Nobody's gonna be like, oh, that's an awesome pick. But he should get the job done as a 2-3 there. Next up, we have the Fighting Sasquatches. This year, they're back in the CFFL, 8 and 5 last year in the Wiffle League. Daniel Jones at quarterback. ESPN probably did no favors there. I mean, Jones is okay, but we'll see how that goes, kind of up and down. Running backs, Joe Mixon, love it. Lions running backs after that, we'll see. Peterson there, you never know, it could be a mess. And Patricia, you never trust him. Swift could be good if they start to throw the ball and get him involved there. Michael Thomas, DJ Moore, Marquise Brown, Robert Woods, and Tyler Boyd. Remember I said I really liked my receivers, but there was one that's better. Right there. That's really good. That's 5 really deep. Boyd is a solid number 3. That's just not even starting on the team. So that's a good receiving core. Michael Thomas is Michael Thomas. Actually, I'm sorry, not Marquise Brown. AJ Brown there. Even better. And Robert Woods. Really, really good. Boomer bust Lions running backs. If they play halfway decent, it'll be great. Should have a really solid season. The Dingoes are up next. Last year finished 7-5-1 and made the playoffs. And for the first time in Dingoes history, they won a playoff game. Guess who was against? Griff, right? Almost 0-8 in the playoffs. One of these years, Griff. I mean, even if you tried, I don't think you could lose 8 playoff games in a row again. But fun to laugh, Griff. Fun to laugh. Anyway, they went 7-5-1. Have Matt Ryan and Russell Wilson. That's an excellent quarterbacking crew. Arguably I would give it the 4th or 5th best running back and quarterback, and then the number 7, 8 quarterback. So really good. Aaron Jones, James Conner, Le'Veon Bell. We'll see. Conner, I really liked. I was trying to trade up. Conner, the question is though, not really question. It's when he'll get hurt. Very much. Very good player though, and high upside there. Aaron Jones, touchdown regression, but still probably pretty good. DeAndre Hopkins, Odell Beckham, Marvin Jones, Hunter Henry. Receiving core is thin there, but Marvin Jones is good as long as he's not hurt, which seems to get a little bit, but still overall. Boomer bust on him. If Connor plays, 14 games, that should be a very good team. Possible return to the playoffs for the Dingoes. Finally, we're looking at the prices right. Last year struggled at 3 and 10. This year, Stafford and Brady, so 2 really good quarterbacks again, 2 top 10 guys probably. Josh Jacobs, We had Antonio Gibson and David Johnson. David Johnson, we'll see. Really kind of fell off face of the earth last year. Injuries have kind of been a thorn in his side the last 2 years. Devontae Adams, Amari Cooper, Will Fuller, Sterling Shepard, and Deshaun Jackson. I know everyone's looking at that and saying Tim Price actually drafted receivers? Really? Tim, for the first time in history, you don't have the worst receivers in the league. And actually have high upside with Fuller there and Sterling Shepard as long as he doesn't have a concussion again. Could be a career ender if it is. Deshaun Jackson. So there's injury risk there, but Adams and Cooper are really good. Cooper's a bit up and down, but really good potential. And just David Johnson, if he is, back to being a solid number 2 fantasy running back, could be a really good team. Dr. Dangerous, 4-9 last year in his inaugural season in the CFFL after some success in the Wiffle League. Deshaun Watson and Ryan Tannehill, good quarterbacks. Nick Chubb, Miles Sanders, Tariq Cohen, Matt Breida. A little thin at running back depth, but Cohen will start right away. Wide receivers, we got Tyler Lockett, Cortland Sutton, DJ Chark, Julian Edelman. One of the few teams I can say that there's not a glaring hole. Maybe the problem is it's a lot of number 2 and 3 receivers in fantasy. Lockett, extremely efficient. Will he continue that? We'll see. He has been historically, so there's no reason to doubt it, I guess. Miles Sanders, if he is that borderline number 1 running back, and Chubb actually can score a touchdown this year, which he really struggled with goal line last year, but is a great running back, that could be a really good team because those running backs could carry him. So, on to the best of each unit. So the best quarterbacking unit, as you might be able to guess, is Black Dingoes. I feel there's not a whole lot of question there with Matt Ryan and not Kyler Murray, Russell Wilson. Best running back core, or best receiver core, we got to give it to the Fighting Sasquatches on that one. We went over the depth on that. So Fighting Sasquatches get props there as having the best wide receiver core. Best running back core is Dr. Dangerous. I'll give it to him. Chubb and Sanders a little thin after that. Chubb and Sanders there. Dr. Dangerous. I liked mine. I like my depth at mine a little more, but his top 2 are better than mine at the moment anyway. I do like Kareem Hunt and Zach Moss as my 3 and 4 there, I think, as much as anyone in the league. So we'll see. As for my predictions, the North Division, my predictions lately have been a lot better, by the way. Last year I predicted a Super Bowl of myself versus Team Kent. We did meet in the semifinals, so I was close in that one. So I'm getting better. So these predictions aren't as bad anymore. So if I do predict in the Super Bowl, don't feel too bad. I probably am doing relatively well. So on to the predictions. North Division. I'm going to predict here a return to glory, quote unquote. Yes, I am. Bites his Badgers. I'm going to go with that in one of the divisions. I think the Central Division, we know who I'm picking. I always do. It is the way it is. I always pick myself. Actually, I haven't picked myself. Sometimes I pick myself not to win the division. This one, I also think that other teams are pretty good in this division. In Rogers We Trust, I think could have a really good year. Charlie's team, Morton's Minotaurs, I think will have some risk on, if Lamar and Kenny Drake play well and have historically good year for Lamar again, that could be a really good team. It's dangerous anytime you play Lamar. And Horndogs will hinge on some health. But go ahead and hit the button, Emma. Whoops. Chris's Cardinals. Yes, sirree. So I'll go with that. And then finally, in the South Division, this one, I'm going to go with the Dingoes on that one. I had a very hard time on that one picking. I really think this one could go a lot of different ways. But the Dingoes, you never know how that's going to play out. I do like that one. I do think that Dr. Dangerous, I think, could make a big run this year. I think the Holy Sasquatches have got short end of the stick on that one with the draft, but you never know. Receivers are so good, though. And Team Price is right. High upside receivers. We'll see how that goes. But who do I pick in a Super Bowl? Do I go with the crazy pick? Do I go with the Gargoyles? Maybe. Bernie's Bruisers tend to always be pretty good. We got the Little Big Men. We got Morton's Minotaurs. We got the Horndogs. And then could we go with a repeat in Rogers We Trust, the Horndogs? maybe, like I said, a high upside team price is right. We know one of the teams. Let's not kid ourselves. I always pick myself because if I didn't draft my team, I would think it's going to be pretty good. And the surprise team I'm going to have play against them in the Super Bowl. Don't always pick a division winner, but this I do. Bites' Badgers, Chris's Cardinals, in a rematch of the Colin Kaepernick heartbreaker for me with overtime, not overtime, garbage time. Too much for me to ask for, but I will pick it again.
Logo on the Morton's Minotaurs, but he changed.
I did change it up, so yeah, it's a little bit up. Changed it up. If you saw Morton's Minotaurs, I'm going with more of the Eagles look there. I think it's a pretty awesome look. I like my look on that one. They agreed. But thank you for watching. Remember, the only real sacks this year, half point. Kicks are now all 3 points, so no long field goal points. And also on Sunday nights and Monday nights, if your opponent's quarterback or kicker would be on the COVID list and is the last put out, and no one has their backup, do not sign them. That other team gets a chance to sign them until the game time, and then after that, I mean, if you want to sign them on Thursday, that Wednesday night, Thursday morning thing, feel free with the waivers. But up to then, they get a chance to do it just for sportsmanship. So, and there will be the punishment, I think, for the last place. I'll send it. You get 3 choices. I'll send that out with an email in the next couple days as what your 3 choices are. A little something. So, thank you for tuning in. And good luck to everyone this year except you to play me. Hopefully, you do not have good luck that week. Thank you. Say bye.